I read a book last year. I think it was How the Mind Works by Steven Pinker. I'm not sure, but I think it was this one. Where he told about an experiment where people have been playing Tetris. And if you've ever seen those like Japanese level Tetris masters when they play at level 99, I mean, it's so lightning fast you can't even believe how good they are at Tetris. It's mind-boggling. It's like hyper speed in Star Wars or something like that. But what they did in this study is that they measured the brain activity, and with the beginners, the Tetris beginners, they were rookies, they used a lot of brain power to organize the blocks when they were falling down, and it required a lot of concentration. And they did this for, I think it was like 3 months, and they practiced and played every day, and they were really good after 3 months. And what they found when they did MRI scan, I think, or it was fMRI or whatever it's called. Yeah, they measured the brain activity, and they could clearly see that the amount of horsepower used in the head actually decreased the higher the speed of the game and the more intense it got. That's not quite intuitive, but actually maybe it is, because when you get better and better at something, it starts to become subconscious. And it's the same with Tetris. It's really hard in the beginning, but the more you practice, the more autonomous it gets. And those godlike Tetris masters, they hardly even make an effort. They're in the zone straight away. And they actually replicated this study several years later with another technique, maybe it was PET scanning, and found the same result, that the effort actually decreased the harder it got and the better they became. But they found another interesting. There was like the other connections on a deeper level, like on a meta level in the brain, got stronger. And what I interpret from this is that the more you learn in an area, the more you can benefit from that knowledge in a completely different field. So the more fields you study, you get to learn more and more of the meta structure that's underneath, which makes it faster and faster and faster to acquire a new skill. You can clearly see this with language. The hardest language to learn is your second language. The third one is somewhat easier, and the fourth and the fifth, and then it just becomes easier. I suspect that the 10th language is super easy compared to the second one. Or, like in my case, I've noticed it with the musical instruments, that the more instruments I learn, the faster I can acquire a new one. But the cool thing is this. This does not just apply to musical instruments or language. It applies to any skill. That's what I've experienced, at least. By learning to play the drums, which I'm doing now, for instance, I get better at my job as an engineer, and it's easier to learn a new language. Anything I try to do is much easier. So that's why I truly fallen in love with acquiring as many skills as possible. That's what I think about it, at least. And you can really check out Steven Pinker's work. He's one of my absolute favorite authors. He writes really good stuff. Have a nice day.